Welcome back, listeners. I'm Robin Black, and this is It's All About Healing podcast. In today's episode, I'll be talking about drawbacks as we experience drawbacks from all the seeds that we have sown. And as I said before, with every wish, God, He gives us an opportunity, right? And with every opportunity, He gives us a chance, but He also gives us a choice. Right? The choice is ours. It's just like when we say, if someone were to say, I really want to be married, and they always say, well, you have to you have to practice being marriage material. So when we experience that drawback, if you're a man or you're a woman, you want a wife, if you want a husband, if you have friends, a lot of like male, friends of the opposite gender, you may experience a large drawback. There may be like, for whatever reason, hey, they're not really talking to me like they used to. They're not really coming around like they used to. I used to talk to this person up all the night. We would talk for 3 or 4 hours and yada, yada, yada. And they just seem to just start to distance themselves. And you're constantly wondering why. Why am I experiencing this drawback? Right? You may have been a person who said, God, I really want to start this business. I want to become an entrepreneur. Okay. The prayer went up. The wish went up, right? So now God's going to give you that opportunity. So now the old you who was always applying for jobs, putting your application in, putting your resume in, and then they would, instantly call you back. You would instantly get an interview. And now all of a sudden, you can't get any job to call you back, to tell you yes. You can't get anything. All you keep getting are unfortunately, we decided to go in a different direction. And you're wondering, why am I experiencing this drawback? This doesn't make any sense. But it's also because you asked God for that wish. You prayed to God and said, oh, I just really, really want this, right? Or that's what you're constantly thinking about when God, He allows you to plant that seed. And He's saying, okay, now I need you to watch this seed grow. I need to know that you're going to sow into this seed. And trust me, faith without works is dead. So you doing the work is not going to be done in vain, right? But you are going to experience that drawback. It's kind of like with a catapult or a slingshot, right? You're going to experience the drawback before you put something in a catapult. You have to pull it back first. You have to draw it back. So it's going to seem like things are being taken away from you. And you're going to be like, I'm not understanding. I'm putting in all of this work. Why is all of this being taken away? And God is saying it's not being taken away. Everything that you have done, every seed that you have watered, it is now I'm about to catapult those blessings forward. But it's also about the knowing, right? God also, He needs you to know that He's going to do it. Just as we're supposed to have faith in Him, right? God has to know that He has faith in us, right? God's never going to leave us nor forsake us. But He is looking for our commitment in trusting Him, right? That trust that is without borders, the faith that is without borders. It's not about the things that we can see. It's kind of like gravity. Whatever you throw up in the air, say for instance, we're throwing an apple up in the air or off a building. It's going to land. We don't know where it's going to land, but we know it's going to land, right? Because it's the law of gravity. It's going to land no matter what we do. If we put it up in the air, it's going to come down. And God is saying that's the same exact way with your blessings, right? Every prayer that you put up, it's going to come down. Hypothetically speaking, if we're just kind of putting it into a scenario, say for instance, you have 1 million of people in line and the seed that they have, they're putting a feather inside of a bag, right? The feathers are the representation of the seeds. They're all putting them inside this gigantic sack. And someone just goes up to the top of the building and they have all these millions of feathers inside this large sack, right? And they dump it on the outside of that building off the roof. All those feathers go out in the air and they're floating around everywhere, right? But we don't know where they're going to land, and we don't know when they're going to land. Sometimes some may take longer, a lot longer than others. And that's where we can't get stuck in that distraction of when we see others gaining their blessings. You're there, okay, their blessings are here. This couple's blessing is here. This person's business is booming. What happened to me? God, did you forget about me? No, he didn't forget about you. Even though when we are in the midst of experiencing that drawback and we're wondering, well, where is it? I cannot see it. God is saying, don't focus on what you can see. That's why I don't need you to lean on your own understanding. I need you just to continue to lean on me because you know how strategic I am. Just like when we were kids, or if you yourself have kids, sometimes the things that they think or do, you'll just be thinking in your mind, like, what on earth would ever make you do something like that, son, daughter? You just think in your mind, that doesn't even make sense to me. Because a kid's logic is totally different from an adult's logic. But we are God's children. He is the father of all of us. So his ways are not our ways. His thoughts are not our thoughts. And there's going to be situations where he would just think, hey, I told you not to lean on your own understanding. But I'm a patient God. So it's okay that you did, but it's going to take longer to gain this blessing because you weren't doing what you were told. And all you're told is just to lean on me, trust in me. Whatever your burdens are, lay it down at my feet because I am the one who can carry it all. And that's all God is asking from us. He doesn't ask for much. And I know sometimes it can be easier said than done, but that's why he does not want us to fall into all of these distractions based off of what we can see, what others are gaining. It's about what we're gaining. It's about our path, your own path that you are on, your own journey that you are on. And sometimes we get in the way of ourselves. But every seed that you have sown, you know you have done the work. You will reap what you sow. God is not a man that should lie. Whatever he reveals, he will redeem. You will reap those rewards, but it's not all about the rewards. We cannot focus on the headline, right? We can't focus on the end result. I just want to know what I can get out of this. Because if that's your heart posture, God's going to read that, right? God, he lives within us. So if that's what we're only focused on is what can I gain from this, then you won't gain anything. And if you do gain something, you reap this false gain. It's not going to last long. It's not going to last long at all. But God, he is just like, once you do it for the right reasons, you're doing it with the proper heart posture. You're doing it for your purpose, right? To impact the lives of others, to help others in a sense, whatever it is, whether it's a company, a relationship, whatever it is that you're wanting to do. God is just like, I need you to do it for a purpose. And once you are focused on that purpose, and it's not about what you can gain, because when you focus on what you can gain, you focus on that end result, you lose the value of the journey. And that's where you learn everything that you need in order to maintain the blessing, right? You have to be able to hold the blessing once you receive it. So if you don't learn the proper steps that you're supposed to learn on the journey, right? All those lessons learned, you're not going to know how to apply it. And if you don't know how to apply it, how are you going to be able to handle the blessing? And that's what God is needing a lot of us to understand is you have to know how to maintain the blessings that I am bringing to you. And once you are experiencing that drawback that feels like everyone has left you, and the enemy will want you to think that even I have left you, but I have not, because I've been with you the entire time, walking you through it step by step. But that's when your knowing kicks in. That's when it kicks in. When that knowing kicks in, where you say, God, I know you were with me. I know I've done the work. I know I've done everything. You reach a peace of mind that you're calm. You're calm in the knowing, I know I can't see it right now, but I know these blessings are about to flood in. Just as it says in Amos 9:13-15, yes, indeed, it won't be long. Things are going to happen so fast, your head will swim. And that's exactly what's happening to a lot of us right now. It may look like, hey, it's just silent. Nothing is happening right now. And I don't understand why. Am I supposed to still be doing something? Because we tend to fall into, I have to make it happen. I have to do this. Oh, I haven't done enough yet. And the enemy wants to distract you with those type of thoughts. The enemy wants you to feel as though you're not enough, that you haven't done enough. So you have to keep trying to make it happen. Maybe your numbers are decreasing on your YouTube channel or your podcast or whatever, who knows? And you're just thinking, what am I supposed to do with this? What does this mean? It means God is setting you up, but in a good way, obviously, because it's God. The drawback makes you think with your own understanding that you're losing, that you've done something incorrect. But understand that drawback that you're experiencing, that emptiness feeling like something's just not right, something is missing. After I'm exhausted from doing everything that I could even imagine doing. I've put my blood, sweat, and tears into this relationship, into this project, into this career. I've done it all. And there's many of you that are having those thoughts right now. And God is saying, that's right where I want you, because that's when it happens. After you've done the work, He is saying, I don't need you to do anything, because it's not about what you can see. You may have done everything that you have, right? You may have put everything that you could into this project or whatever, but you have not seen everything that I can do. You have not seen everything that I can bring to you. Miracles do happen, and now you're about to experience those miracles through the blessings that I'm about to pour on top of you. That's what God is saying to many of us right now. Just because of what we can see and what it looks like, we cannot lean on that understanding. We can't lean on the things that we can see. The only thing that we can lean on is to lean on the unseen and trust in God, because we know the world is in His hands. He has it all under control. Whether we understand it or not, it's not for us to understand. It's for us to know that He has it under control and that we are going to be okay no matter what happens. God loves all of us, and He just wants us to lean on Him. But that is all that I have for you today. So again, thank you so much for listening. Be sure to book your one-on-one with me or come be a guest on the show as well. Go to www.it'sallabouthealingpodcast.com. And wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Stay blessed.